Syrian state media is claiming that Israel has fired missiles at Damascus last night, but Israel has not responded to the reports. 3 explosions. That's what the UK-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights is claiming was heard in the suburbs of Damascus, after what they're claiming was an Israeli attempt last night to hit Syrian regime and Iranian positions. The Israeli news site Ynet is reporting that the alleged Israeli airstrike was targeting arms warehouses in the suburb of Saida Zainab, which is just south of the Syrian capital. Syrian air defenses reportedly shot down one of the missiles in the air. This latest report comes just 2 weeks after unidentified aircraft bombed 3 Iranian-controlled weapons depots in Syria, killing several members of Iranian-supported militias. There were no immediate reports of who was responsible for the attack, but defense analysts claim that it was likely Israel. The IDF does not typically comment on specific airstrikes in Syria unless they come in retaliation for an attack on Israel. But the Israeli military has admitted to carrying out hundreds of airstrikes in Syria against Iranian targets over the last several years. Iran has proxy groups based in Syria and Lebanon and supports Hezbollah and Gaza terrorists. 4 people are dead and 14 are injured after a horrific bus accident near Israel's Ben Gurion airport. The public bus was transporting about 25 people when it swerved and accidentally slammed into a bus stop on the side of the road, causing the stop's concrete roof to partially crush the vehicle. It took firefighters and paramedics around 4 hours to extract the passengers, 2 of which remain in the hospital in serious condition. This latest accident brings the total number of people killed in traffic accidents in 2019 in Israel up to 345. And that statistic is even more shocking than ever because it reveals almost a 10% increase in the amount of Israelis killed on the road since 2018. The increase in deaths is also apparent on intercity roads, which has claimed the lives of 207 people in 2019 compared to 132 back in 2018. And the amount of motorcycle riders killed has also risen by a whopping 52% in the last year. The Israeli government has just announced that it will be classifying its deliberations about the International Criminal Court's upcoming investigation into alleged war crimes in the Palestinian territories. This comes after even more Israeli outrage following reports that the ICC allegedly avoided meeting with Israeli organizations before announcing the probe, but did in fact meet with Palestinian groups several times. That's what Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu had to say following the International Criminal Court's announcement. The probe will look into Israel's policy of Jewish settlement in Judea and Samaria or the West Bank, the 2014 Gaza war, and the Israeli response to violent Palestinian protests on the Gaza Strip border. The ICC says it will also be investigating Hamas's targeting of civilians and use of its own people as human shields during war. But Israeli officials are calling the entire investigation a political tool that exposes the ICC's bias against Israel. Prior to the announcement of the impending investigation, the Pro-Israel International Association of Jewish Lawyers and Jurists reportedly attempted to contact ICC Chief Prosecutor Fatou Bensouda to share legal documents fighting the case, but failed to receive any response. Yet just 2 weeks ago, Bensouda allegedly met with representatives of the Palestinian Center for Human Rights. Top Israeli officials and military brass could face prosecution in this investigation, and the Israeli Foreign Ministry is now hosting a meeting to discuss how to respond to the probe. All deliberations will be classified.